you go to the end of the season, especially kickers, and you go look at the top kicker, and you look at if you're a 12-team league, look at the top kicker and look at the 12th ranked kicker, and you'll see it's less than 10 points between them all, and over 14 weeks, it's less than a point a game. See you later. You're all expendable. Actually, if I had it my way, there'd be no more kickers in fantasy football.
I totally agree with you.
We'd take them out back and shoot them. Good tidings, faithful listeners. Welcome to another installment of the greatest podcast that I've ever produced. With me, as always, is my partner in crime, the round mound of the ground round, man who not only sounds higher than giraffe pussy, but probably is. Number 69.
Higher than giraffe pussy. I like that.
But number 2 in your hearts. Francis, I have no idea what his middle name is, Bob.
All these years, you don't know what my fucking middle name is?
I might be able to guess, but off the top of my head, no. And it sounds better.
I don't know yours either.
No, in the it's funnier this way.
Yeah. It's the fantasy show. I'm super excited.
So before we dive into the show, we want to give a shout out to our website partners over at sportstalkphilly.com. If you're sick of the same old tired, drab, hot takes put out by the likes of Elliott Shores Parks, or whichever flavor of the month is attacking our ginger Jesus, head on over to sportstalkphilly.com. The content is always hitting, and best of all, it's written by the people for the people.
For the people. And it's not just the 444 stuff. They got Union on there. They got did a nice couple articles about the AFL championship, which was last weekend. We didn't win, but we were in it at least.
Yes.
Good content, good writers.
Yeah, Sports Talk Philly's the anti-Philly.com, just like we're the anti-WIP. This isn't your father's podcast. Probably because your dad doesn't know what the fuck a podcast is. But fuck him. He's
still listening to that moron over there chew his food while he's talking into the mic.
Well, that's just, some people make bad decisions, and they stick with them. There's not much we can do about that. So like Franny said, fantasy football episode. We have another exciting episode in store for you. We've been teasing the fantasy football episode for a while now.
This is really getting into our wheelhouse, I think. Between the two of us, quite the number of championships and money earned last year on the daily sites. And you've shied away from season-long leagues, if I'm not mistaken, and are strictly dailies now, right?
Last year, I tried to get away from season longs total, and I failed. I had to do one league. I didn't have to do. Someone texted me, asked me to join the league last minute. I joined, thank goodness, because I dominated. But strictly, I go daily fantasy now. I like to change it up. I don't like to be tied down. I also go on to that best ball. If you go on to play draft, I think it's sponsored by FanDuel as well. You can do best ball. Best ball is pretty cool. You draft at the beginning of the season, full team. You draft like 18 rounds. You don't set a lineup at all. It pulls your best scores: quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, tight end. It pulls your best scores for each week. After 12 weeks, the winner of it breaks it down into 12 team leagues, and there's a bunch of them. So after 12 weeks, if you're the top scorer in your 12 team league, you move on, and then it's week to week. And then at the end, if you win the whole thing, you win a boatload of cash.
That's pretty cool. I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Don't make the mistake I did last year. Made a couple mistakes. I drafted too soon, 2 leagues, so a couple guys got hurt, like the Juice down in Washington.
He's my rookie keeper.
He became a regrettable pick, definitely. The other mistake I made was totally forgetting about a draft, so it auto drafted, and I ended up with a bunch of guys who were already out for the year on my team.
Well, that's poor management on your part.
Yeah, it was all me. That one was all me. But we're very excited for this episode. Probably excited because we're biased. At least I'm being honest about my bias.
What's your bias?
That this is going to be an exciting episode.
That's fucking football, man.
Sure.
The numbers went through the roof the last 2 weeks when we started talking about the birds again. So it's back, man. It's in the air. I can smell it every time I walk out the door in the morning. It's football's back, and it brings with it fantasy season, and it's just great. I got the wife into it. We have a family league. She dominated last year, except for when she played me, obviously.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
But listen, I'm not shy. I'll bring her on right now, and she'll tell you she lost to me 3 times. So. That's all that matters. But it's bigger. It's growing. It's bigger, better than ever. ESPN does a 24-hour showcase for fantasy football, so it's a thing now.
Absolutely. So we're not going to sit here and just talk and read off like our top 10 lists for each position. That's not what we're going to do. Simply because it's boring as fuck. You can log on to ESPN, download that shit for free. We've prepped some categories.
Yep.
And filled them out with names that we either believe in or we want to ship off to Revis Island. Personally, I'm a firm believer in the idea that leagues are won in the middle of the draft, the meat of the draft, if you will. But certainly, Fran, it can't be won in the first round, but you could definitely lose your season in the first round.
Yeah, you could definitely take Le'Veon Bell and not be prepared for him to sit out the entire fucking year, and that could cost you a fantasy championship. But you're dead on with you win these things in the middle rounds. It differentiates you from the rest is how you build your roster in the middle section, because like you said, the first 2-3 rounds are typically chalk, and the back end is just you take flyers on guys. You pointed out last year you took Geis. I did the same thing. He was my 12th round pick in a league where you can keep a rookie for 3 years, and I took a chance and it bit me in the ass. So
yeah, it was upsetting. It was a tough pick. I mean, like I said, I took him too soon. Well, I drafted too soon. That was really it. I was drafting. I got all excited. I got giddy. Week 1 preseason. I'm like, yeah, let's get into this. Yeah, here's $5 for one league. Here's $5 for another. Yeah. And the next thing I know,
I wish
7
there were
guys.
$5.
Well, these
on the daily leagues.
No, not the dailies. This the best ball. You can you could do $1 ones, $5 ones. There's $25 ones.
I'm gonna have to check that out because I have yet to see it. But
yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, they even do the I mean, that's best ball, but then they do the week long as well, where you draft, but it's a draft. So you draft a couple guys, fill out your roster, and then you ball in that whatever little league you just drafted in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Worth a check out, that's for sure. All right, so our first category that I want to get into at least is usually a favorite amongst fantasy football people. Everyone always asks, "Who's your sleeper this year? What you got? Who you got? Who you believe in?" As if we're gonna like pull out some crazy name out of our hat. Although sick brag by me. My guy was Patrick Mahomes last year, but we'll
all right, settle down.
Yeah, I mean, it's only like the last 2 or 3 episodes I brought it up.
Yeah.
I mean,
might as well keep the train rolling with your
sure.
sick brag.
There's probably only 25 or 30 more episodes that I'm going to bring that up.
The talking heads are calling for a down year for him this year.
Well, let's not get too far into that yet. Let's go give me a guy on your sleeper list, Fran.
All right, so I'm gonna start off at the QB position, and I don't necessarily know that this guy's a sleeper, but I feel like this is somebody who could be targeted.
Well, let's define sleeper real fast. So sleepers aren't always guys that nobody knows about. They're guys. Some are guys that nobody knows about. Others are guys that are known, that have put up numbers, but their average draft position is real low. You know,
these are the guys that the fucking millionaire makers that win the millionaire maker in the daily leagues. These are the guys that will magically will be on rosters of those guys who win those millionaire makers every week. So it's not somebody who's gonna jump off the page at you, but it's somebody who that you've done research on and you've targeted and you feel that is gonna bring or give you an edge at some point in your league. And at the quarterback position, I can't believe I even talked myself into this one, but I feel like Lamar Jackson is a big time sleeper this year at the quarterback position. He's somebody who can be, you don't have to waste, I've seen him go as late as the 13th, 14th round in some leagues. He's a dual threat. He runs and he throws. Now he runs a lot better than he throws, but
he's still young. He can still do that.
Right. And they've put some weapons around him. So
yeah, a nice downhill runner in his backfield now that they can count on with Mark Ingram.
Plus they got a rookie. They got another rookie who's on another one of my list that we've talked about that we'll bring up later. But yeah, I just feel like for the value where he could be drafted, you can focus on building your core running backs, receivers, tight ends, not wasting a high pick that some of these top end quarterbacks are going to be taking in.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't hate that pick. I mean, I'm not going to be drafting Lamar Jackson, but I can see where people would, and I can see people why. So off of your quarterback pick, I have a pick here. It might be the guy that you might have mentioned. My sleeper is Mark Andrews, his tight end.
Absolutely.
We all know young QBs love to lean on a tight end that they can trust. Andrews is that guy. He was Baker Mayfield's top target his last year in Oklahoma, and he's got the ability to make big plays, not just be a security blanket. He's a wide receiver turned tight end. He's a big weapon and option for them. And he's with the zone reads and the running threat like you talked about for Jackson. That's going to open up down the field for Andrews and make him definitely a true threat in the passing game. And you know what? Especially, sorry to overtalk you there, but it's a big thing for fantasy football is if you commit to that elite tight end at times, you end up chasing other positions, particularly wide receiver.
Right.
Where if you can find a diamond in the rough like a Mark Andrews, and you can wait obviously on the tight end position.
Right. So I mean that was one of the main reasons why I chose Jackson at that position as a sleeper, because the wide receiver core in Baltimore is not, going to blow anybody away. They got a young kid they drafted, and, they're a run-first team, and they're always going to be a run-first team with that offensive line and the backs and the quarterback. But aside from being the security blanket, Andrews is definitely, he's a downfield threat. He can run, and he can run people over, and, he was on my list too, so good call.
All right, go ahead. Give me another guy you got.
I got two at the wide receiver position that I wanted to touch on. I'll give you the first one. I actually have three wide receivers that I like. Christian Kirk.
Okay.
In Arizona.
Yes.
Maybe not so much as a sleeper because he's probably going to battle for the number one receiver role. But when Larry Fitzgerald is on the team, in my eyes, and maybe it's just because he's been playing my whole life almost, he's going to be the number one guy, and rightfully so. I mean, the guy catches everything. But with the new young quarterback, you already had an established run game, and you got this second-year kid coming in, and he's a little bit of a burner. I think the field could open up for him and Murray. I feel like if they can get on the same page early, that could be a good place to go.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, like you said,
he's not going to cost you a high pick either in the draft. I mean, he's like battling, a fourth, fifth tier, receiver.
He's battling for a number one spot, but his average draft position right now on ESPN is 106th which is late ninth round. And he's, believe it or not, the 1-2 wide receivers at 106 and 111 are Christian Kirk and Larry Fitz.
Yeah. So
back to back. So yeah, absolutely. Definitely sleeper worthy. You can get a lot of value there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a better way of saying it. Sleepers could also be value picks. Good value picks.
Yeah. You take that moniker, that sleeper moniker away, and like we alluded to in the beginning, when you're trying, and especially in the season longs, with your leagues with your buddies and all, you have to hit in the middle. And some of the guys that we're going to mention are guys that you would take in the middle. We're not going to talk about the chalk guys. We said that already. But if you can identify, again, based on your scoring, your league scoring, you can identify some of these guys that don't jump off the page to everybody and take a flyer on them. That's how you're going to win. And I think Christian Kirk gives you that chance.
Definitely. So to follow your wide receiver pick, I'm going to do another pick, wide receiver who's done a lot in the league already, but still isn't getting the draft respect that he should be, if you will. I got Chris Godwin in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he's kind of the darling of this year from what I'm seeing and reading about. Everybody's jumping on him.
Yeah,
he's climbing up the average draft position charts pretty well.
Yeah, interesting little tidbit here. So the Bucks put together the fourth best passing season of all time last year, and then they turned around and they got rid of Deshaun Jackson and Adam Humphries, who accounted for 180 targets.
Yeah,
targets got to go to somebody, and Chris Godwin is a guy not only a little bit down the field, but he's an end zone guy.
Right.
Red zone,
he's got great
end zone
hands.
Threat. Absolutely. He's
one
Penn State guy too, right?
Yeah, Penn State guy. One of the Eagles to draft him.
Absolutely. So who's the other wide receiver you got?
The other one I got, to me, he's obvious, but his name isn't gonna blow anybody away. James Washington in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Juju, he's gonna get the targets for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh's notoriously rolled, tight end after tight end. They're not gonna stick with just one guy, so they got two or three guys at that position. They're gonna steal a couple grabs. Connor, he's not built like Bell, even though he's gonna be your workhorse. So with Juju stepping into that number one spot, he's gonna demand a lot of attention from opposing defenses, and they're really high on James Washington. And there's one thing that I know, or two things that I know about Pittsburgh that they do really well, well is they draft linebackers, and they're pretty good at drafting wide receivers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
From a pure target perspective, and especially in your PPR leagues, I mean, I feel like he's going to be he'll end the season in the top 20, maybe receptions.
Okay.
And again, he's another value guy. You don't have to, he's not going to go in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round. He's going to be somebody you can target a little bit later and not have to burn and maybe chase, one of those higher end tight ends or grab that other running back that you want.
Yeah, and in the currently average draft position, he's 48th wide receiver off the board at average pick of 139. So yeah, late guy, high upside, like it. I'm gonna go switch it up a little bit here. Go with a running back. A guy who's again has been in the league for a while. He's done some good things, but he's in a very unique situation that he could definitely benefit from. It's Latavius Murray in New Orleans.
Fuck that guy. Go ahead though.
Absolutely. So yeah,
first disagreement.
Obviously, with Mark Ingram out of town, Saints have a devastatingly efficient offensive line. Kamara is not a volume runner.
Yeah,
he's
no
a pass
bell
catcher.
cow.
No. So it's definitely sleeper candidate. Someone you could bury on your roster and put in, pick and choose where you go it. And he might even be the front runner for Touchdown Vulture of the Year award.
Yeah, you think he's going to be that guy? I mean, I could see it. He's got the body type for it.
Yeah, downhill, north-south runner. You're not going to hand the ball off to Kamara on the goal line.
Yeah, no, I can't argue your logic because, like you said, Kamara, there's no way he makes it a full season if he's not getting some blow, no pun intended.
Oh, hey now.
And so he's too inconsistent for me. Even when he was in Minnesota, he would show flashes of brilliance, but in deeper leagues, you're 12, you're 14, you're 16. By the way, if you're doing in a league with any more than 16 teams, you can go fuck yourself. That's ridiculous.
I think if you do more than 12, you're a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, I'm in one that's 14 and it's fucking hard, man. You're drafting guys that could be practice squad guys before the final rosters are put out because that's how deep the league is. But anyway, in your deeper leagues and your non-PPR, standard scoring, touchdowns count for everything. Sure, he's definitely gonna steal some of Kamara's love there in the red zone. So,
yeah, here you go. Give me another one. Pick one more, last one.
I like Devin Singletary from Buffalo.
Okay.
As much as I love Shady, he tends to the past couple years anyway. He's been hurt a little bit, but I like what they're doing up there. They brought in a couple of receivers that are again they're not gonna lead the league in receiving, but they're solid, steady guys who catch balls that are thrown to them and make some plays. I like what Josh Allen's turning into. He would be another maybe sleeper type guy. If you look at the fantasy quarterbacks from last year, I think he was in the top 6 or 7 when all was said and done with the way he can run too. But I think, Shady will do well also, but they have this kid Singletary and he's blowing people away with some of the moves he's making. So, it's a value pick, sleeper, late round. He's not going to cost you, they got him going, 172, average draft position. He's a 51st ranked, 52nd, depending on what site you look at. So
he's buried, but yeah, I see your point.
That's more so of a pick. Like if you take Shady, you may want to handcuff him with Singletary in case Shady goes down.
Okay. My next guy, my last pick here for the sleepers is going to be again another player. It's his 3rd year in the league. He's been doing some things. He's getting a lot of love this year in the preseason through camp. Ohio State guy, Curtis Samuel in Carolina.
Yeah.
Speedy wide receiver, big playmaker. Expect big plays, and I actually think he'll end the season with better numbers than his counterpart DJ Moore.
Do you really?
I do. I
kind of feel like DJ Moore is going to have a breakout year. Oh, with the caveat that if Greg Olsen can stay healthy, I think both of those guys, Samuel and Moore, will have good years because without Olsen on the field, you don't have to worry about anybody other than McCaffrey.
Yeah, with whether or not Curtis Samuel has a better year than DJ Moore is tough to say. It would be close, but when you're talking about where you're drafting those guys and skill wise, DJ Moore is going right now 73rd overall.
Yeah, he's definitely getting picked higher.
And Curtis Samuel's 127th overall. So
yeah,
you could definitely save yourself some real value there by waiting for Curtis Samuel as opposed to DJ Moore.
I'm gonna rattle off just a couple names. I'm not gonna get into a thing about them. Just some names to keep in mind. Marquez Valdez-Scantling,
sure.
Green Bay receiver. I like Paris Campbell in Indianapolis, assuming Gluck plays. Running back, I like Ito Smith because Freeman hasn't proven he can stay healthy for a full year, the past couple years. And Kalen Ballage. I was on that kid last year, and I don't know what the fuck was going on in Miami, but once they figured out how to use Ballage and fucking other guy, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Drake?
Yeah, Kenyon Drake. They were in some games. So those are just some other names I like.
Yeah, I like Kalen Ballage. I have him on another one of our lists here.
Second year guy?
Yes, absolutely. So we got some players that we're gonna fade. We're gonna fade this year in season long. I'll get started here. My number one guy that I'm fading this year is Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, I'll never
absolutely.
draft that son of a bitch again. So.
Absolutely. So obviously the offensive line isn't great. Year off, he's definitely gonna have some rust.
Yep.
But he's proven before with that time off. A lot of guys prove it too. Time off, then you come out and then you start cutting and juking the way that you normally do. You become a strong injury candidate.
Yeah.
Whether it be another major injury for him or just like the nagging hamstring injuries that can really keep a good guy down.
Yeah.
Keep a homie struggling.
Yeah, he's really got nothing to work with up there. I mean, he made a money decision purely based on money, and he's going to pay for it because he's not going to be running the ball as efficiently as he was in Pittsburgh, and he's certainly, if he's catching, I feel like he'll do more damage in the pass game than anything. I mean, I don't think, like you said, their offensive line is straight garbage.
Yeah, absolutely.
In New York,
it's tough sledding up there. So give me a fade guy.
I'm kind of fading David Johnson.
Yeah.
He came on like a bat out of hell, and he was fucking running people over, and then he tears pinky, and he was out for like 6 weeks, and then he came back, and I know it wasn't the pinky. I was more so an insult to his masculinity. He's never been the same. Offensive line problems again. You got a young QB who's going to need a stable run game. He can give you that. He just doesn't look the same over the last 2 years. So if I'm picking in a PPR league and I'm picking fifth and those top four guys go, I'm hopping over to the other side and I'm skipping over Johnson and Bell.
Okay.
So
yeah, you know what? You have the list longer than I do. Pretty much all my fades are running backs. Perfectly honest.
Well,
I got Le'Veon, obviously, like I said. Another name on here, Joe Mixon. I'm fading Joe Mixon.
I like him.
He's a good running back, but what's there to be excited about in Cincinnati?
I totally agree with you.
Another AJ Green injury. What do they have to work with up there?
Ross is injured too.
He's another guy who's always hurt. Got wet paper as his hamstrings. Yeah, you know what? Joe Mixon might be like the candidate guy. Like someone's got to score for them, right? But are you going to win your league with the best player on a bad team?
No, but I feel like he's going to give you enough, depending on where you draft him. Obviously, he's not a first round. He might be a late second. He's definitely a third round pick. So if you can get him in the third, I'm okay with it. But yeah, he's going to have tough sledding with the situation he's in.
Absolutely. So what you got? Give me another name.
I hate to do it because I'm keeping him in my league, but Todd Gurley.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Obvious reasons. There's no reason to even talk about it. He's on my list, too. See you, Todd. Glaring injury concerns. They're not going to use him as much as they have in the past. He's an undraftable for me. Complete undraftable.
Well, I've seen him going in some leagues in the third round, which, again, I think is fucking crazy, but...
Yeah, I mean, his average draft position's the end of the first. I'm not touching him.
But who are you taking ahead of him at the running back position? Give me a couple names that are going to... Because I'm not seeing many. Like, I would take him over Bell and Johnson, and probably Mixon.
I would not take him over Bell and Johnson. If I had to pick, if it was those three, I would take Bell or Johnson.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
You think his knee's that banged up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then I'm fucked because I'm rolling out a trade now. I'm rolling out Team IR with him and fucking Geist so far before the season even starts. So
that's what happens when you get into keeper leagues, but it's a whole other issue that we're not going to get into right now.
Who else you got as far as fades go? Anybody? Any receivers?
I don't have a single receiver that I'm fading. Well, not on my list. They're not on my list, but there's guys that I would stay away from. And some of the top tier guys. I like value wide receivers. When I say top tier guys, like I would stay away from Julio Jones. Can't get in the end zone. Antonio Brown mess in Oakland. Then a couple guys with just like constant injury concerns, like Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
Lord knows what's going on with Tyreek Hill. That's a legal issue, a health issue, and a moral issue. I'll be honest, I don't have many morals when it comes to fantasy.
There's no fucking morals when it comes to fantasy football.
Some people do. I'm not.
A W is a W.
T.Y. Hilton, I might need to, depending upon the health of the quarterback.
He's
another
injury
guy I might
prone
stay with.
too.
Yeah, absolutely. But another guy I have on my fade list is that a name that people in the fantasy world are all over, and I don't really get it. Chris Carson, running back in Seattle.
Yeah, that whole situation up there is so fucking weird.
Yeah,
with the running backs and the receivers, like they don't have anybody who's like, the coolest, the biggest name they have is a kid they just drafted who just had surgery. So I don't get that whole situation with Rashad Penny and Chris Carson and the other three guys they'll bring in throughout the year to fill in when the other two go down.
Yeah, they're really good at finding efficient running backs who are going to get hurt. Seattle's really good at that. Another player I have is a quarterback. Kind of touched on him earlier. It's Pat Mahomes.
I think you're dead wrong there.
Fading Pat Mahomes, and now this is the reason why I'm fading him. Not that I don't think he's going to not have a great year, but, last year you were able to get Pat Mahomes at the end of the draft, middle of the draft, however good you were, and he was a stud, and I still think he's going to be a stud. Obviously, it's going to be really hard to duplicate what he did last year. He's losing, there's some weapons are down, obviously, on that team, but at the same time, you're looking at an average draft position of 17th overall. I can't get behind taking quarterback early. So some of my rules in fantasy football, I don't take quarterbacks early. Never did, never will. I'm not going to spend a second round pick on a quarterback who's going to get maybe 30 or 40 more points than the next quarterback. And what's 30 or 40 points over a 14-week regular season?
I think so. I've been struggling with this for a couple weeks now because I kind of am mad at myself for not jumping on him last year, and I so desperately kind of want him this year. But you're right. Like, are you gonna? Because you're gonna have to give up a late second round, early third round pick to get him, and there's just too much value at that time in your draft.
It's not even that.
So it's like a 2-for-1 because
there's value in that position all throughout the draft.
Yeah,
I'm not taking them.
Yeah. Like I said, there's guys who are ranked, 12 through 22 at quarterback that are just maybe like a 10 to 20, maybe 30 at most 30-point difference than the top 10 guys. So yeah, you don't have to waste an early pick on a guy unless, leagues are different, scoring. It all depends. Everything we've just spoke about has to be the caveat to that has to be you have to know your league's scoring. You have to understand what's going to get you points. And if you're in a standard league where touchdowns are key, you want the kid who put up 50 touchdowns last year. But that's going to cost you. So I wouldn't fade him, but I'm certainly not going to take him in the first or second round. And I've seen that happen in mock drafts so far this year.
Right, and that's the reason why he's a fade. I don't think that he's not going to be good, but I'm at that round, that price, I'm out.
Yeah, I got at that round, that price, for sure, I'm out.
So give me one more. Who else you got? You got another one?
I kind of want to fade Jarvis Landry, which sucks because I fucking love that guy. But I think there's just too many other options there. Okay. For him to have the type of season that you would expect from a guy who's in the top 30 at his position.
Yeah, you know what? I get the other weapons argument, but he's sitting at 74th overall drafted. That's a 7th round pick.
I guess you could do worse, right?
Yeah, that's not bad value there, especially considering his high. He's a home run hitter. He's not a possession receiver.
I think it's the other way around. I'm pretty sure he's in fantasy he's a guy you want in a PPR league because he's going to get you 10 balls a game maybe 100 yards and maybe an end zone shot. They got Odell now. They have that other kid, Callaway, who was their burner, who was catching all the deep balls.
He got in trouble again, though. Did he get in trouble for smoking weed again?
I think he's good. They got Njoku, the tight end. Like, they got Nick Chubb. You're gonna have Kareem Hunt making an appearance at some point. So I don't know.
Njoku's a fade for me this year. He's not on my list, but I'm not going near him.
Yeah, there was big hype about him, and he fizzled out.
He's a good talent. I'm just not. Yeah. With everything that's on that team, I'm pretty sure Callaway's in trouble again. By the way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look it up, but
you should just make that shit legal. Come on. Like, what are we doing here?
Kid can't stay off the weed. I'm double checking that now, but I'm pretty sure he's.
Well, while you're double checking that, I don't know who's listening or how far this is gonna reach, but people, if you're doing a fantasy draft, do yourself a favor. Don't fall victim to the kicker and the defense run. Let these other guys and girls take their fucking top tier defense in the 6th or 7th round, or a kicker in like the 10th round. I forbid you to draft a kicker at all until your very last pick. You fill out your roster, you fill out your bench. I'm okay with the defense in the teens, late teens. They're fucking a dime a dozen. They're not going to be the difference in winning you a fantasy championship. Yeah, there's going to be weeks where the Jags have 30 fucking points because they shut out the Dolphins and sacked the quarterback 15 times in a punt return yeah, that's going to happen. And that may cost you a week, but in the long term, taking a flyer on an early defense is just so stupid. And then taking a kicker at all before your very last pick is a huge fucking no-no.
Yeah, you should anytime a kicker is taken before the last round, I boo. And I actually implemented a new strategy. I don't know if it's not new to fantasy football, but it was new to me last year. Was I rolled the dice on defenses constantly. If I saw a matchup, I would drop a defense and pick a defense up. I don't see value really in any, especially when you go to the end of the season. You go to the end of the season, especially kickers, and you go look at the top kicker, and you look at, if you're a 12-team league, look at the top kicker and look at the 12th ranked kicker, and you'll see it's less than 10 points between them all, and over 14 weeks, it's less than a point a game. See you later. You're all expendable. Actually, if I had it my way, there'd be no more kickers in fantasy football.
I totally agree with you.
We'd take them out back and shoot them.
Unless you're Carly Lloyd, and then we would put pads on you and give you $100 million.
Yeah, she can. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to take kickers out back and shoot them, just in fantasy football, figuratively. So, running backs to avoid this year, Fran. Give me a couple running backs to avoid.
Well, I think two of them are making it pretty obvious in Zeke and Melvin Gordon. Now, I feel like Zeke will get signed at some point before the season starts. I don't think Jerry's that stupid. He might be. He might be. By the way, I totally love his comment. Zeke too. Love it. Great.
Zeke has no leverage in this situation. It doesn't make any sense what he's doing. He has the Cowboys. The Cowboys own his rights for 4 more years. He's 2 more years under contract, and they can franchise him for 2 more years. If he doesn't show up and play this year, those seasons just get punted down the line. It's not like he's out a season and then it's only 3 more years. Right. It's still 4.
He's not in a Le'Veon Bell situation.
Right. Le'Veon Bell had leverage. Zeke has the only leverage that Zeke has is the Cowboys. They need him to be successful.
Yeah, I think
but I don't think Jerry's going to be strong-armed.
No, he won't. But I think, and I hate even talking about him because of the fucking Cowgirls, but the kid's led the league in rushing his first 3 years in the league. Like it's not like he's asking for money that he doesn't deserve.
He's asking for money he doesn't deserve. But go ahead.
I don't necessarily know that he needs to be the highest paid running back ever, but I mean,
he's still in his rookie contract. I don't know.
You're splitting hairs, I guess. The running backs don't have a long shelf life. I get it, but fuck it. Stay out as long as you want, bro.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm all for it. Yeah, listen, Zeke, do your thing, brother. I got your back. You're wrong, but I got your back.
Melvin Gordon, another one. I feel like he's a guy who, like, you know what, fuck it. I'll sit the year. I don't care.
Yeah, another one doesn't make sense, but hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah, so they're the 2 obvious ones. Guy that I just don't like, I don't know. There's nothing, there's no specifics. I just don't think he's a good running back is Dalvin Cook.
I get it. I wouldn't say that I don't think he's a good running back. He's just, he's always hurt. He's another guy. You can't count on him to be there.
Yeah.
I dig it. I mean, running backs I'm avoiding are essentially any running back in the first round besides Saquon and Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
staying away from Kamara. Stay away from Kamara because he's not gonna, like I said, he's gonna catch the passes, obviously. But small running back like him, how many seasons can he go getting banged like he does, not get hurt? I think there's gonna maybe an injury aspect there, and then throw in there the Latavius Murray potential touchdown vulture. Zeke Zeke, like you said, obvious reasons.
Yeah.
David Johnson, I don't hate David Johnson, but I'm really leery about the quarterback over there.
Right.
Obviously, we already
we talked about Gurley. We
Todd
talked
Gurley,
about
Bell,
what about Connor?
James Conner, but James Conner's getting drafted at the end of the second round. But I don't really like James Conner either.
What about Chubb?
Love Nick Chubb.
Love you some Nick Chubb.
I love me some Chubb this year.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan for sure. I think he's gonna do good things.
Yeah, love him this year.
You know who else I'm gonna avoid just because he totally fucked me last year? And this may just be a personal thing, but Derrick Henry. What a piece of shit that guy was. He fucking. I took him in the 14 team league that I'm in. I went because of where I was drafted. I had to take a receiver where I was at because there was no real value at running back. Comes back to me. I take another receiver because the value again just wasn't there, and I was getting great return on my money for the receiver. I ended up taking Henry, which I thought in the fourth round was a pure gold selection. And this dude had so many fucking splinters from riding the pine for the first 6 to 7 weeks. He couldn't sniff the field, and it killed me. Killed my whole season in that league. And then the fucking week after I drop him, I needed to make a move because I needed a running back. I gotta drop him. He's not getting on the field. I picked up, I think maybe Jalen Richard, which is a fucking travesty in itself. And he just decides he's gonna turn into fucking Bo Jackson Jr. and run like 200 yards a week with 2 touchdowns every week. I'll never forgive him for that.
All right, so let's talk about running backs outside of the first round that you love. You gotta have.
It sucks because I know a couple of my boys who I'm in fantasy leagues with are listening, but whatever. I'm a big fan of Mark Ingram, James White for the PPR aspect, and our two guys, Thunder and Lightning, Howard and Sanders. I think they're great value for guys that you can, again, if you're not in that front of that first round, and you're going to go with the receivers, the heavy receivers, you're going to need to draft some running backs late. So those couple guys, Ingram, I think he's just a rock, somebody you can rely on. White catches a ton of balls out of the backfield. Michelle's kind of I like him, but he's kind of in the same boat as Gurley with the knee, little leery there. And Sanders and Howard, I think are we've touched on that. They're going to get a good chunk of work. So
yeah, I obviously like running backs outside of the first round. Like I said a little bit ago, love Nick Chubb. I expect big things from him this year. Another guy that I really like is Royce Freeman. That's gonna be I'm not a Philip Lindsay guy.
No.
Never have been.
No.
Nah, you're never gonna convince me otherwise. Royce Freeman.
Throw though.
Sure. Then a couple. Then I got three rookies on my list after that. You got David Montgomery in Chicago. How could you not love him? The opportunities there, right? I have to take my boy Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
Been all over him. He's not a guy that you're going to be able to start every week, but he's gonna have good value. And then you like James White. I'm actually going the other way in New England. Damian Harris is going to do some big things this year.
He's a big name on a lot of people's radars when it comes to sleepers, and we weren't going to go real in depth on sleepers, but he's definitely, if you're in a deep league, he's for sure. Him and the kid from Baltimore, Justice Hill, they're both names that you want to keep on your radar for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Damian Harris, he's going to be another lead candidate for Touchdown Vulture of the Year award.
Austin Eckler, monitoring this Melvin Gordon situation. Austin Eckler is going to get a ton of play.
Yeah, he's another guy I can't get behind. He's like,
exactly. But I tell you what, in a pinch, he might steal you some points. I mean, if you're talking the 10th, 12th, 13th round, you're in a deep league. It might be worth taking a flyer on.
Sure. Another list we have here is sophomore year breakouts. We've already listed 2 of mine already.
Kind of covered them.
Yeah, Kalen Ballage, Royce Freeman, obviously, and another guy who's again can't keep the legs healthy, but if he can, he could be a great weapon. Is Kiki Kuti? How do you say his last name? Kuti?
Q-tip?
Whatever it is. Kiki.
I'm not a fan.
Do you love me? Can you stay healthy?
I don't think so, because I think
Probably
if
not. But you
Hopkins
know,
and Fuller can stay on the field,
well, that's
Cote's
another
gonna have
thing. Can Fuller stay on the field?
I hope so. Philly native. I'm pulling for him.
Yeah, but he went to Roman. He wears purple.
And they won championships. I mean, come
And
on.
he went to Notre Dame. I can't really get behind him much anymore.
You're the most Irish looking motherfucker I know too, and you hate Notre Dame. I'll never understand it.
Well, I used to love. Well, why am I supposed to love a team in Indiana just because I'm Irish? A French school. It's French. Notre Dame is French, and they're the Fighting Irish.
Well, listen,
It doesn't make any sense.
Irish people by nature are fucking stupid. So
Whoa.
Irish, I figure you look at,
Whoa.
Notre Dame. I'm Irish. I drink beer and I watch Notre Dame. I mean, didn't you ever see Rudy? Like that's what those people do.
Yeah, I've seen Rudy. I've met Rudy. Rudy's a fucking asshole. Yeah, he's a drunk. He's an asshole. Plain and simple. Did not like the guy.
The actual guy or the actor?
No, Rudy. Rudiger.
Yeah.
I met him. He came to my high school and gave a speech, and he was an arrogant, fucking drunk dickhead. Nobody liked him.
Makes sense. He was at LaSalle.
Absolutely. We had the money to pay him.
So
And
Jalen Samuels is my second year guy.
That's a good one. That's a good pick. I like him.
think-
I actually like him more than the other guy starting.
Connor?
Yeah, because he's like I said, I think he's gonna get hurt.
Yeah. Well, you never know. I think they're gonna use him so much that there's a good chance that he does. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I mean, he has an injury history to begin with. They used him way more than they probably wanted to last year. It's just I just see an injury there for Connor. So yeah, I like Jalen Samuel.
I got two other guys that I'll give you. One's a receiver, and again, my allegiance to my city, it hurts me to say this, but I kind of like Traquan Smith from Washington.
Okay. So I got no problem taking Redskins. I got one of my rules in fantasy football is no Cowboys on my team.
Yeah.
No Cowboys.
I'm sorry, not Traquan Smith, Trey Smith. Trey Quinn from Washington.
Close enough with the name, probably. Late round stashes. These are like guys that, obviously guys at the end of the draft, So if you're going 15 rounds, this would be like a 13th round pick because you're going to go defense and kicker on your last two rounds as a normal human being should.
Yeah. First guy I got is Robert Foster, Buffalo.
Okay.
He's a deep threat. He's got a good chemistry with Josh Allen already, and with them adding a couple slot guys and a couple young playmakers in the backfield, again, deeper league,
Sure.
I feel like he could definitely help you out.
Absolutely. Obviously on this list, like I said a little bit ago, the guy that I love is Damian Harris in New England. But another guy to keep your eye on is Alexander Madison, running back in Minnesota. Absolute playmaker. Like we said before, Dalvin Cook can't stay healthy. If you take Dalvin, you're going to want Madison as a handcuff.
Yeah.
If you hate the guy that took Dalvin Cook, I highly suggest taking Madison because then you can manipulate the fuck out of him when Cook gets hurt.
Well, that's a solid move, by the way.
What the spite handcuff
pick.
steal?
The late round spite handcuff is one of my personal favorites.
Yeah. The fickle game we play, isn't it?
So another guy I got is a late round stash him. Another one of our guys, man, Dallas Goedert. He's not a top tier tight end. He's not gonna get you. He's not gonna put up Kittle and Ertz and Kelsey numbers, or even OJ Howard or Hunter Henry. He's somebody, I think he's more of a matchup guy. But again, in a deep league, and you got to fill a roster spot, you could do worse. And I like Goddard there.
He's a good pick to take. Late rounds. I don't know that he'll necessarily be there in the late rounds, especially considering who we're going to be playing against, which is fellow Eagles fans. But he's a good guy. Like again, if you devalue the tight end position, he's a good player to have to pair with another late tight end and play the matchups week to week.
Yeah.
Next guy on my list for the late round stashes would be wide receiver from New England, Jacoby Myers.
So you like him over N'Keal Harry, or whatever his name is?
I mean, if I'm going to stash a guy late round in New England, Jacoby's my guy.
Even with Captain Cannabis coming back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another one I have is, this is purely late round stash would be Quincy Enunwa.
Oh, Enunwa.
Yeah,
Isn't he like a top option? And he's with the Jets, right?
Yeah, but he's not gonna he's like a slot guy. He's not like an outside threat. He's not gonna outrun anybody. They have have Crowder now too, so he'll be their number one for sure.
Right.
So
They paid him enough.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yeah, right. I'm sure Joe Douglas is loving that.
Yeah.
Started figuring
That
out
team's gonna be a disaster because I mean, look at their head coach. He's a fucking cokehead.
Yeah. Let's not get into all that.
Yeah.
So another my last late round stash is running back for the Chiefs, Darwin Thompson. Pass catching back. He's a big play threat in the backfield catching the ball. And the Chiefs, Andy Reid loves to throw the ball to his running backs. He's think of Tariq Cohen but with more talent.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it with the Andy Reid reference. That guy's gonna throw to any running back he puts out there. So you got to have that skill set when you play for him. So yeah, I mean, they've kind of been a revolving door of running backs too, especially once Hunt beat the shit out of his girlfriend or whoever that was. Williams got injured last year, and who's the other guy who fills in? Spencer Ware. Spencer Ware was his name. So, yeah,
Spencer Ware.
That's not bad. My last Flyer guy that you want to stash on the bench is another New England guy, Matt Lacoste, the tight end.
Okay.
Ben Watson's the tight end number one on the depth chart as of right now, but he has a tendency of being hurt. So they love to throw to tight ends, and he's got a big frame, young kid. So
yeah, but Gronk will be back this year. So
oh yeah, is he gonna pull a Jason Witten?
I wouldn't call it a Jason Witten. I would call it
what the fuck would you call it? Witten retired and came back.
But Witten's retired for a whole year.
Oh, you don't think you think week one he's in a uniform?
I don't know week one, but maybe. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility. I could definitely see him back very soon. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's everything we have for our fantasy football first fantasy football show. Any questions? Any player comparisons? If you want to give us a shout out, like, hey, who would you rather take? My left nut, my right nut, or a chestnut? We'll definitely dive into some of those questions for you, and we'll get into some more in-depth stuff as week one rolls in with our picks for the week, who we're gonna start sit-ems, if you will.
Yeah.
Daily fantasy plays, all sorts of stuff like that. Fran, if you were to pick one player right now, if you had to hitch your wagon to this year, who would you hitch to?
Hitch my wagon to?
Yeah.
I'm a big time DeAndre Hopkins guy. That's been my guy. He will always be my guy. I just feel like the numbers that guy put up over the years without a good quarterback were scary good. And now that he's got a somewhat decent quarterback, not quite sold on Watson just yet, but he's definitely light years ahead of anything Hopkins has had over the last 5-6 years. I mean, the guy's got the best hands in the NFL for sure, in my personal opinion. So that's who I'm putting all my eggs in the DeAndre Hopkins basket.
All right, I think I made mine perfectly clear this year. I'm going with Nick Chubb.
Yeah?
Man, I love me Nick Chubb. You can get Nick Chubb in, where is he drafted right now? Average draft position 26. So you get him early third round, you'll probably win it all.
You think?
No, I mean, I don't know. But yeah, sure.
I think he'll be on a lot of winning rosters. Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Absolutely. Pair him with like a combination, like if you had like Robert Woods and his quarterback.
Goff?
Yeah, that's a playoff team right there.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not a big Robert Woods guy or a guy.
Hey, you don't have to
like Chubb, so
you don't have to like him, but
it's your guy, right?
They put up the numbers. Numbers speak for themselves. All right, that's all for the first fantasy football show. The round mound of the ground rounds.
That's you got that out twice. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I did. The first time was flawless. The second time I had to think about it.
Well, it's the show's called High and Wide for a reason.
Hey, sometimes not. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Peace.
All right, welcome back. We're going to parlay the fantasy football episode into some Eagles talk real fast. We're going to keep you over the hour mark on this episode. We'd apologize, but we're not sorry people.
Yeah, we gave you some quality content.
Yeah,
and we've proven that once you get started talking about fantasy, it's really hard to stop. So
yeah, we grab life by the balls, so you can't get us to apologize. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, fuck you. Keep listening.
So Eagles just wrapped up the joint practice with the Baltimore Ravens today. Some good stuff from what I hear. From what
no fights, right? I didn't hear much about
fights. Yeah, I was excited. I was a little disappointed to hear there were no fights from what's going on in practice so far with inner squad mingling with the rookie tackle. I would have figured maybe he'd get in some heads over in Baltimore, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, no, and My guy, fucking safety. Why am I forgetting everybody's name?
Earl
right
Thomas.
now? Earl Thomas has some nice things to say about Carson Wentz, which is
Yeah, he put him in
pretty
the
encouraging.
elite category. Put him in the
Yeah.
elite category with
Yeah.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah. Are we gonna see Wentz tomorrow night? I would hope we finally see him.
No, we're gonna see Carson Wentz week 1.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I disagree, but it is what it is. I don't see why he needs to play in preseason. You don't have a healthy offensive line, so what's the point of putting him out there?
You're not gonna have a healthy one in 2 weeks anyway.
Sure you will. You're gonna have a healthy line on week 1. You're gonna have everybody back on week 1. The only person who's question mark will be Brandon Brooks, but I think he's gonna play. I'm not marching him out there in the preseason, and I don't think that the Redskins are good enough to really worry about if Carson's got some rust on him. I think the defense and the rest of the weapons around Carson are just gonna be good enough to dominate the Redskins in week 1. Let him find his way.
Right.
I don't think it'll take long. I got faith in the Ginger Jesus this year.
I do too. I'm not saying that. I just want to see him get out there, sling the pigskin around for a couple minutes, and get the fuck out of there.
Absolutely. So a big signing this week too.
Thank God
Colt McCown.
that we got. And did you ever think you'd hear those words? Thank God that you signed Josh McCown and not the other guy.
McCown, right? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We make mistakes.
Yeah. Pulled him right off his kid's high school football team field. He was middle of coaching practice and got the phone call and said he got the okay from the old lady, and here he is.
Yeah, of course the old lady says okay. $2 million signing bonus guaranteed. Yeah, go now. Run along. Oh wait, I just flipped on Twitter. Oh,
Going on.
oh, there's another workout video loaded.
Oh, is there fights?
No, it's not football. It's my most favorite Philadelphia athlete currently.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons. Oh, it's pretty. Oh.
Yeah, in a fucking empty gym, dude.
It's not an empty gym. He's playing basketball against NBA players, but that's not what's
not in a regular season or playoffs, dude.
Chill
he
out.
does this
Stop
in
with
a
that
fucking
argument.
game.
Stop with that argument. Wait till you're looking at it now. He's doing it. All right, you're gonna see it in a game. It's the fact
I
that
hope so.
everyone says that he can't do it. And look at him doing it. Oh my God, I just pulled up for 3 from that was Steph Curry range. Oh, he just did the James Harden step back.
He's got a nice step back, man.
Oh, dude, if you
crossover
listen,
and the fadeaway.
If your dick isn't hard right now watching this, then something wrong with you. And I'm sick of hearing that. Do it in the game. Yeah, well, he can't do it in a game yet because it's not season. You'll see it in a game. I'm retweeting that. It's retweeted.
I already did. Yeah, it's been retweeted.
Go to our Twitters if you haven't seen it. It's
haven't
pretty.
seen it. Should.
It's so pretty. Oh God! Wow. I think we could do a whole 40-minute episode just watching this video and just talking about it. But we're not gonna.
I think we'd have to take you to the hospital afterwards or shower you off like they had to do with Martin Lawrence and Bad Boys 2, bro.
Yeah, I would be down with it if it didn't just stop raining outside. If it was still raining, I could do it and then at least go outside and cool off. But that option's off the table now. So yeah, we thank God they brought in McCown and not really anybody else.
Yeah.
There's not a name you could say.
I'll say it. I know you're avoiding it. I'll say it. I didn't want no parts of Kaepernick, and not because of his political stance or his social justice stance. I don't care. He has every right to do whatever he wants in that position, and I'm sure he would get a lot of support from our guys. A lot of the Eagles locker room tend to be trendsetters of things of that nature. So
that's another thing. He wouldn't. There would be a huge riff in the locker room with that.
He's just not a good fucking football player. That's my bottom line.
But he's not a good. He's not a
football player.
He's not a good quarterback.
Quote,
he never
was.
was.
In the bottle, that one year, that good year that he had in San Fran, and nobody knew shit about him. And they came back the next year, and they went 4 games. Get the fuck out of here. He's a shitty quarterback. He's not good at football. And he's been out for 3 years. If he was any good, whether he fucking need or not, he would have been in the league. He's not any good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's played 75 career football games in the NFL and has 5 300 or more yard passing games.
Yeah, they put the stats. They did a mirror image of McCown's stats versus Kaepernick's in their league, and
yeah, we know. Let's not make this part about Kaepernick.
I'm glad. It's a veteran. Yeah. I mean, listen, if Wentz goes down, we're fucked either way because Nasty Nate Sudfeld, as my brother likes to call him, is not very good anyway. Whether he's
he's not bad, but the fact of the matter is, in NFL, if you lose starting quarterback, you're not gonna have success. We we were the exception to the rule when we won the Super Bowl, but that's because we didn't have a backup quarterback. We had a starting quarterback who came back to Philadelphia for a resurgence. You just don't have good starting quarterbacks in the league. It's just and it's rare enough to find a good starting quarterback, let alone a good backup quarterback. It just doesn't happen. Yeah. So I don't give me all these laundry lists of names and guys. If Carson goes down and we need a backup to play for an extended period of time, we're in big trouble. Yeah, couple games you could probably get by, but not an extended period of time. Yeah. So I don't know why. The fact that it was such a big deal is just totally Philly. It's Philly thrown through.
The second Sudfeld went down, that his name got thrown in the mix, and I was just shaking my head, no, come on, guys, come on.
Yeah, right.
Don't even say. I threw up in my mouth as soon as I had that thought in my head that he was gonna have to come back here. Don't even say his name because I'll get sick again.
Yeah. Let's not do that.
I would if I'm in the front office, which is I'm not in the front office, and I'm talking in the phone. I'm in my front office, but if I'm not in charge of any professional sports team because I'm an idiot. But I would have called Michael Vick. A couple mil
again.
Carried a clipboard.
When was the last time Mike Vick played football?
It doesn't matter.
Listen, it can't matter for Colin Kaepernick and then not matter for Mike Vick.
Mike Vick was 100 times better than Kaepernick.
Sure, but part of your argument against Kaepernick is he hasn't played in so long. It can't be that way for him and not that way for him.
It has nothing to do with... No. My argument for him not playing in 3 years isn't because... not to sign him because he hasn't played in 3 years. My argument is he hasn't played in 3 years because he fucking stinks. And if he would have been any good, like Michael Vick, he would have been picked up 3 years ago. But he's not. So he hasn't been in the league for 3 years. Not because he took a knee or he called derogatory names to cops or social injustice. He's not a good football player. I would have called Mike Vick, given him the clipboard, $2 million. Something happens, you get us through the season, and we're on the next year. Fuck it.
Can't believe you said Mike Vick. I'm just going to move on and pretend like that didn't happen.
So I'm looking at this cut list. Looks like our boy, emergency quarterback extraordinaire, and the greatest quarterback to come out of the Ohio State under your boy, head coach.
Head coach Urban Meyer.
Braxton Miller got cut.
He got cut, yeah.
He's already been signed.
What a disappointing. He got cut, right? Obviously, it's disappointing because the Texans spent a third-round pick on him. Another wide receiver with a tough career drafted earlier than him, but Kevin White just got cut by the Cardinals,
too. I saw that right before we started, yeah.
7th overall picks, played 3 seasons in the NFL, and blows.
Can't stay on the field, man.
No. So we went better when the first episode we talked about the Eagles a couple episodes ago. You brought up Steph Wisniewski as a potential cut.
Yeah.
I saw, a reporter this week bring him up as a potential cut because he's not the backup center anymore. And they save, they don't save a lot of money, but there's not a lot of money guaranteed to him, so that they can save some money there by cutting him. So he's back on that cut list, cut watch.
You're welcome.
He's on the cut watch. A name that was brought up to me as a potential wide receiver to... That's more of a weird brag. But wide receiver to make the team, and I don't really see it. But is Carlton Agadosi? I'm bad with these names.
Yeah, no, he stinks. What about the kid who caught the touchdown?
He does stink.
Michelle, yeah.
Yeah, I like Sony Michel's brother.
Is that his brother?
Yeah, it's his brother.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
I like him.
Good stock. Let's keep him.
Yeah, I like Mark and Michelle better. Unfortunately, I think our boy Matt Collins is going to make the team.
I know, it's such a letdown because he stinks.
It is. He does stink. But he's good on special teams, and obviously that's what you need to be when you're going to be the 5th or 6th wide receiver on the team. You need to be able to run down the field and make a tackle. Matt Collins can obviously do that. Looks like Darren Sproles is going to make the team as well.
Yeah. They cut Jay Liggins, which I'm happy about because he was terrible. And they cut Blake Countess, which I'm happy about because he was terrible. Yeah. So they signed this kid from the Army. I'm intrigued. Brett Toth?
Yeah.
The last guy. Already. Yeah, the last guy from the military we were stupid and put him on the wrong side of the line and then cut him because he wasn't good enough. And now he's an all-pro fucking tackle for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, mistakes were made.
Yeah.
Corey Clement has been opening eyes at camp or practice this week. I just think that they're giving him more reps than usual just to get him going since he hasn't been going. I'm not convinced. I'm still not sold on Corey Clement as a running back, pass catching back. Sure, I think he's gonna make the team, but everyone else behind him, I think, gets cut now. Smallwood gone, Adams gone, Boston Scott gone.
Yeah, but
Humphrey's been playing actually kind of well. I know no one wants to hear it, but he has been. But I still think he's gone.
Well, yeah, he'll be a practice squad guy.
Boston
Scott did himself no favors in the preseason game. Like,
no, he let a punt bounce on like the
ball.
20. What are you doing? Letting a punt drop on a 20?
Yeah, catch the fucking ball. Even if it's a fair catch, just show them that you can catch the ball. Yeah,
it bounced at like the 20 and then rolled back to like the 8.
Yeah,
like, what are you doing? Catch the ball. Catch the ball.
Yeah,
catch the ball. There's a lot of people who owe Clayton Thorson some written apologies. I'm sure plenty of listeners here were digging into Clayton Thorson early. He does accept any and all forms of apologies. Obviously, written is the most cordial and really shows the most respect. If you put pen to paper and put a nice little written apology on it, mail it to the NovaCare Center, Clayton Thorson will be accepting all of those apologies.
How long was your apology letter?
I never trashed him once.
What?
Never trashed him once. Go ahead,
Dude,
look at my tweets.
Roll the tape.
Go look at my tweets.
Roll the tape. I don't need the tweets. We got it on tape, cuz.
No, we don't.
You and I both trashed him in the same sentence. Yes, we did.
No, never
trashed.
Never trashed him.
Okay.
Nope. Moving forward. Your boy Nathan Gary. Look like he's going to get some PT.
Well, they got nobody fucking else. Who else are they going to put out there?
God, you hate that guy.
He stinks, dude. He's terrible.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Shelton Gibson got cut.
Did he?
Yeah. He's been floating around here for years, collecting a paycheck, not doing anything for it. So.
Yeah, see you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Don't like you. Richard Rogers. He got hurt. He's probably done, right?
Yeah. Who cares? I want to see Asante Brown play more at linebacker over Gary.
Okay.
I think he's a gamer.
Well, maybe if you don't turn the game off at halftime, you'll see him tomorrow.
I have both games recorded and I've watched them several times.
That's disturbing. If that's true, we need to have an intervention.
Why?
If you're watching the first 2 preseason games multiple times,
dude, we do a fucking sports podcast about the Eagles. Why would I not have those games and rewatch them?
Dude, if I worked for the Eagles, I wouldn't have them.
That's why you'll never work for the Eagles, bro. I'm training. Trying to get that Baldinger.
Yeah, okay.
That Brian Baldinger finger. You know what I mean? With the on the remote. Fast forward, rewind.
There you go. All right. Hey,
I'm never gonna work for one of these teams, so I'm never gonna get to live my dream. So why don't I do it in the comforts of my own home and act like it for a little bit?
Hey, listen, if you want to waste your life rewatching preseason games, that's your time. Mylotta's looked really good.
Yeah, he's played well. Dillard has played really well. I don't think he's allowed a rush yet, right? Or any penetration?
No, that's not true. That's not true. Cody Kessler is in concussion protocol because of a terrible read by Andre Dillard.
You sure about that?
Yes. Why did he slide inside to pick up the
let me go back and look at the fucking tape then. No, because I saw an article that said that he hadn't allowed any pressures yet. No, maybe.
Well, that's because he stepped inside for some stupid ass reason, and someone ran right by him and fucking annihilated Cody Kessler's entire existence.
Which was small to begin with, so it really doesn't matter. He did us a favor.
He did us a favor, yeah, to open up the conversation of Josh McCown and Colin Kaepernick. Thanks, Andre Dillard. Yeah, it's what your Pac-12 pussies do.
That's right.
You're going to be eating those Pac-12 words. Yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, I want to see some of the starters play on offense together, obviously. Because you're apparently the greatest person in the world that he's not going to play, and they've already announced it. Unless they've already announced it and I'm an asshole.
No, they've already announced it.
All right, so then shut the fuck up. I'm allowed to want him to play.
You can want him. I'm not telling you not to want him to play. I want to see him play. I want to see Carson Wentz play, but I don't want Carson Wentz to play because I don't fucking
catch 22.
Because people are hurt. If you can't be protected properly, keep them off the field. Put the earpiece in with the clipboard. See you week 1. Dominate the Skins. They're gonna destroy the Redskins. It's gonna be beautiful.
You keep saying that. I'm not so sure it's gonna be a blowout.
Well, Sometimes you gotta have a little faith.
I have a lot of faith.
You gotta put a little faith in your heart.
I have a ton of faith.
Is that an end song?
That's an Easter egg. That's an Easter egg right there. So real quick before we go, I got a rant and I'm gonna do it. It's not football related.
I'm scared.
To our Philadelphia Phillies manager, Gabe Kapler, you sir can get the fuck out of my city right now. I'll take you to the airport. I'll pay for your ticket to go to San Fran or wherever the fuck it is that you live. Get the fuck away from my team. The fact that you have Rhys Hoskins batting leadoff just proves how idiotic and out of touch with reality that you are to think that guy could go into arguably top 3-4 position in all of sports as far as hitting goes in the leadoff role and be productive is just it's unfathomable that you continue to trot this guy out there in that position. You're setting him up for failure because he doesn't do that at all and never has, and now you're putting him in a position where he's got to try and make it work. He wasn't making it work where he was at, so you don't move him the fuck up, you move him down.
Yeah, and I kind of see
you could put anybody else on this roster, the scrubs, Andrew Knapp, put him in the fucking leadoff spot. You don't put Rhys Hoskins in the fucking leadoff spot and keep him there. I'm sorry. He's 4 for his last, 58? Are you fucking kidding me? He's that out of touch with reality and with how the game of baseball is played that this is happening now, and this is something that we have to deal with on a daily basis, and I'm fucking tired of it. I'm done with fucking the Gabe Kapler analytics experiment. Get the fuck out.
If the whole moving him up to the leadoff spot is more. It's kind of like a Charlie Manuel move, really. Charlie would do this stuff because you move him, guy who's struggling, guy like Rhys Hoskins, who's a pivotal player in your offense, struggling. How do you get out of slumps? More at bats. How do you get more at bats? Move up in a lineup. He's going to get more at bats batting in the leadoff spot than he is in the 7-hole, 8-hole, wherever you were to move him down to. Now I'm not defending Gabe Kapler. I'll never.
You are defending Gabe Kapler.
No, I'm not defending Gabe Kapler. Gabe Kapler is, he is what he is. We all know what he is. But the move, it doesn't make total sense, but it kind of does make sense. Like it's Charlie Manuel move. It's absolutely a Charlie Manuel move. It's not working right now, but at the same time, he's getting walks still. So he gets walks. I think what's his face is Real Muto's batting second.
Rice batting second tonight.
Oh, well, then maybe it was last night. But anyway, I'd rather move Rhys up to get him more at bats to get him out of the slump than move him down to get fewer at bats to bury him deeper into a slump. But that's the extent I would go at ever being labeled as a Gabe Kapler sympathizer.
Fuck him. I'm done with him. Get him out.
Sure. You can drive him to the airport. Would you even drive him to the airport?
Tuck and roll.
I'd get in an Uber pool.
I'm not sure what's going on by you, but I feel like there's water coming in my house right now somewhere.
Hey, it poured right in here a little bit ago.
Yeah, it's coming my way now.
All right, that's all we got for the Eagles right now. There's not much more to get into. Week 3 tomorrow. You're probably listening to this. So Week 3 is tonight, preseason. I think we're comfortably at the spot in the football season where I can go, all right, I don't care anymore. Let's enjoy the last week and a half of summer, and let's go week 1. Let's get to that blowout against the Skins.
Let's make it happen, man. It's so close. I can fucking taste it.
Slowly slide our dicks into the Redskins.
Yep.
Oh God, it's gonna be great.
Raw dog, baby.
It's gonna be awesome. I might make a brisket.
You might make a brisket. Well, it's Crock-Pot Sundays, the football season.
Well, it's a little early. September. You can't really break out the crock pot. Might have to go with a brisket. I may or may not have been pricing them at Giant today. I don't know. I can't confirm that or a pork shoulder. Okay. But we'll see. We'll fill you in. Any ideas out there? Let us know.
Yeah, hit us up.
Absolutely. Check out again all our socials. DFord HNW on Twitter. Franchise 99_HNW. High and Wide Pod. Check out our boys over at Sports Talk Philly. Their Twitter is at Sports Talk PHL. SportsTalkPhilly.com. We still have our FanDuel League set up. We're getting ready. $5-10 a week. We're not sure which one yet. Probably 10 because we're not cheap anymore. We're all adults now. If you want in, let us know. We usually have at least 10 guys, upwards of 15 to 20. Hit us up. Let us know. Get in. Win some money. We'll probably take yours. No big deal. We're awesome. Not really. But
sick brag.
Yeah, that's a sick brag. All right. Say goodbye to the people, Frank.
Deuces, people. Love you.